So now it's my pleasure to introduce the student speaker, Larissa Russell. An actress, singer, dancer, and talented student, Rissy is a young woman who has made her mark at Baldwin, even though she is the little sister. Her advisor, Mr. Lieberman, noted the following. He says, I remember Rissy having a small role in the after-school play once on this island when she was in 6th grade. She was quite small at the time, but she seemed so comfortable on the stage with big girls. He goes on to say, I also remember her being on the intramural softball team. She always wanted to pitch, but let's say her ability to get it in the strike zone wasn't quite there yet. However, she will be remembered for her kindness towards her friends, and that has always been a hallmark of Rissy, a kind young scholar. Please welcome Larissa Russell.
Paraded rhythmically down the aisle in a long white dress, in a church. My church, actually. How fortuitous. It's like I'm getting married. How weird. Someday I might just walk up this very aisle with a groom waiting for me up here on the other end, instead of a diploma. A handsome groom, not quite as adventurous as I would hope, or we'd have eloped, but a good guy nonetheless. He'll be watching as I walk methodically down the aisle like I just did, probably wearing this same dress because I didn't feel like buying another. Hopefully I won't have to get it altered if I gain the freshman 15 in college next year. I'm thinking I'll get married around age 26 or 27. Seems about right. It seems so far away now as I stand here, a mere 17-year-old. But it's just about 9 years, the same amount of time that has elapsed since I entered the Baldwin School as a shy, scrawny little 4th grader. A goody two-shoes. I had been quiet, passive, and miniature. On the first day of school, I scowled at a teacher rather unpleasantly because she thought that I was lost in the hallway and wanted to send me back to kindergarten up in the residence. Before I came here to Baldwin, I'd gone to the Episcopal Academy's Devon campus. My father and mother had to fight with the school's administration in order for me to enter 1st grade as a 5-year-old. The authorities at BA were convinced that I would grow up with angst, no friends, bad grades, and social ineptitude because I'm really young for my grade. My birthday is in November. I like to think that I proved them wrong eventually after Baldwin, but who knows. Being with you all next door has been a blur. A flash in the pan, a series of abrupt, spontaneous dance parties, exciting theater productions, ultimate frisbee competitions in gym class, interesting dialogues in history class, lots of laughs in physics, many good times in the lounge and hugs. And still, at the same time, it has been the longest 9 years of my life. It has been Spanish pruebas, that is, Spanish assessments, tireless routine, stress about a C on Miss Sloak's first math test junior year, and the second, and probably the third. It's also been a series of rejections. Rejections from B-flats, from Model UN, from every middle school sport above the intramural level except for 8th grade B-team softball. Rejections from the freshman musical Chicago, from the Honors Seminar Consortium. I was even rejected from Lamplighters, the group of students who gives tours to prospective families. Twice. Above that, let's not lie, we've waded through a lot of petty gossip over there and goony sisterly fights. But I love Baldwin. Seriously, I love Baldwin. It's not sarcasm. I used to think it was, but it's not. I thought a lot about this. I'm a contemplative girl, and I realized that I love Baldwin because I think if I hadn't gone here, it would have taken me a lot longer to share myself with the world. If I had gone anywhere else, I probably wouldn't be up here giving this speech at commencement. I wouldn't be the girl who makes conversations with agitated people sitting next to me on airplanes. I hope my kids here if I can afford it, after living as a nomad and joining the Peace Corps. Baldwin has indeed felt a lot like a prison at times. We have a weird heating system for one, frivolous rules about the uniform, but still. At my cousin's public high school and at the high schools of many of the friends that I've met through summer programs, they're not allowed to step outside of the building unaccompanied during the school day. That's a prison. But we get to walk outside from class to class, outside underneath the beautiful cherry trees by the residence. Of course, it's not too helpful when most of the main doors are locked. But still, Baldwin is safe, and more importantly, trusting of us. And so in 5th grade, I used to skip art. Robin Rubenstein and I used to skip art. She's no longer a Baldwin girl. We always stayed outside for an extra hour after recess, until it became so that Miss Kona, the art teacher, was unaware that we were even in the class. I've taken a lot more out of Baldwin than I usually like to admit. Out here in suburbia, where most of us are well off, life has seemed boring, sheltered, homogeneous, not real. But it is real. It's as real as anything else. It's where we learn how to stay true to ourselves in a world of complexity. On my yogi tea a couple months ago, the inspirational quote said that the only real loneliness is to not be comfortable with yourself. Now, if that's the case, which I believe it is, then I've seldom felt lonely since I've come here, since I've become a Baldwin girl. Obviously now, I'm a staunch feminist. Obviously, I enjoy engaging in debates about things I've learned in school, like a big nerd. Obviously, I like having the 48 of you understand the way I am and accept me. Baldwin is, like it or not, what ensured that we become ourselves in some way or another, sooner rather than later, together. I have vague, hazy memories of middle school, probably because I refused to grow up alongside everyone else. I looked like I was still in grade 3, and my favorite thing to do, while everyone else liked paoli parties and going to school dances, was to watch Arthur every afternoon and eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich while getting ahead on my homework. Come to think of it, that's still my favorite thing to do. A lot of you enjoy parties on Friday afternoons, and bluntly put, I take pleasure in watching Arthur on Friday afternoons. I'm not ashamed. I wrote my college essay about it, actually. Throughout my years here, I've been peacefully on the outside. I mean, that's not to say I was fulfilling the prophecy of the EA administration, going through life friendless, weird, and unhappy. I was extremely happy, just friendless and weird. In 8th grade, when all the little cliques made up acronyms, with their first initials of their names to describe who their friends were, like Catch Band, Kendall, Emily, Jennifer, Jessica, Brooke, Ariel, and Megan. Or Kadan, Kate, Alex the Baldwin, Danushka, Allison, Marielle. I was left out of that. I think it was because I didn't belong to a small group of just 4 or 5, no little clique. Rather, I belonged to all of you in equal measure. Or maybe it was just because I was strange and none of you liked me. It's fine though. It allowed me to get to know everyone more. It helped me gauge a deeper understanding of how truly unique and diverse this class is. I mean, collectively, we could run our own country. Tori Ibrahim Gonzalez, she's going to be an engineer in the Navy. Siobhan is going to publish books. Allie Peterson might join the CIA. Allison Hume, the infamous girl who spells the word special, S-P-E-S-H-U-L-L. She's going to become a particle physicist and win the Nobel Prize, and I can say that I know her. Danushka, she speaks Sinhalese. Alessandra speaks Italian. And most of us want to grow up and marry Cuban Jews and have beautiful biracial babies.